Welcome to the A-Train Show. And now here's your host, the A-Train, Arlington Lane.
Welcome to this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train Arlington Lane. Grateful to have you on board again for this Association Monday. And thanks to our friends again over at Just Meat Jerky, Dubby Energy Powder, True Victory Apparel, MacDougall Bats, and Royal Retros. Thank you so much once again. Folks, man, it's been an interesting sports weekend, especially for those that were at the Fanatics Fest in New York City. New York City? Yes, New York City. Now, from what I have been told, is that the biggest audiences at Fanatics Fest this past weekend in New York City came from the pro wrestling community. So yeah, it was amazing enough to have them on board, and it did a lot of wonderful things. Unfortunately, I can't post photos and videos of it. That means you had to be there to understand what everything was all about. I don't know what that was. You know, when I hear that music, that means somebody has arrived today. And you know, when I do this show, he comes on with me, and he's been coming on a lot these last few weeks and days. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me as always is Dr. Robert Bailey Jr. What's going on, good doctor?
What's up, man? What's up?
We
happening?
here for Association Monday,
feed.
man.
I don't know. My feed, but I keep getting this delay going on. Yours,
slight delay.
Yeah, but it's all good. Let's go. Let's get it.
Long as you ain't following the Facebook feed or anything like that, you good.
I'm good, man. Good.
Weekend okay, man.
How we
all right?
doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, man. Had a few funerals, man. My boys do that, and but man, other than that, it was a great Sunday, man. Awesome Sunday, and chance to lay down and go to sleep. Take me out.
Yeah, man, you cracked me up on social media. You said after my church nap, I said he's like, I gotta get mine in.
You know, you need that church nap.
Especially after a great service, you definitely
Sundays,
get one.
Man.
You definitely got to get one of those.
For
okay,
sure.
Let's get into it, man.
For sure.
What we witnessed on Friday Night SmackDown. I'm not gonna waste any time with it today.
Yes.
The end of SmackDown. Actually, you know what? I actually went back and watched SmackDown, and it was a solid show. You had Blair Davenport and
cool.
Naomi. Yep, they faced off, and then you had the Street Profits against DIY for the #1 contendership for the tag team titles, and it looks like they're trying to give the Street Profits a proper push this time. And they looked really well in their match against DIY. Very entertaining. Street Profits did get the win on Friday. Is this the time now for the Street Profits.
I think so. I think they missed, well, not necessarily missed the ends, and then they end up having to drop the belts. But I think great time for them. It's a great time to push them. It's a great time to let them real quick. Of course, you got to give. Are we back to trying to more tag teams get an opportunity now? I think that's kind of where we are now. Is giving more tag teams to get the belt and just not keep the belts on group of tag teams. So
Got you, got you, got you. Because I'm looking at it as I think for some time we've been wanting to see the Street Profits make noise in WWE, and they've been around for a little while now. And it's like we're at a time where more tag teams are being featured. They're making uh you got we do got separate belts. So that's right. We got the separate belts on different brands. So yeah, it's
yep,
time. I
yep,
want to see what a run like
yeah.
that looks like. And as
They
predictable
do,
as
man. I
it
think it'll be great.
was, as predictable as it was with the bloodline situation, it had to happen. But I was surprised that Jacob Fatu, with his boot, came in. I knew that Roman was going to have a beat down. He was going to have to get beat. And you saw, I think it was
Yeah,
Tama Tonga that was there, and of course Solo. And then when Jacob
yeah.
Fatu showed up, I was like, I didn't know he was going to show up. I thought he was going to remain injured. But he was like, I guess they told him to say, hey, go ahead. Just long as you give him a good beat down, we good with that. And sure enough, they did so.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this too. Let me say this, because about that is this dude was full-fledged running with this boot. Like he was full in full sprint with this boot on, dude. I'm like, that shows a different dynamic. It shows a different dynamic of how he is. So I think it gives that element, man. I kind of like it though, because it shows that he ain't that he's not prone to pain, and that he can take it and he'll keep it. Man, that dude came in and then the kick with it, like he like super the boot on. Man, that full-fledged running several times. And did you see Roman tell him do it again, do it again? Yeah, to me, it was crazy.
Let let me
It was
find
crazy.
out that that injury ain't real. Let me find out that that boot
I,
is just
I
for
don't think it is.
show.
I
Let me
don't think it
find out
is.
that that is.
You can just for that.
Let me find out if it's just for show. Like, and he's sitting there faking around with this boot on, and he making these types of kicks and beating down and running at full speed with this boot, like he ain't got no pain, like he just coming through, or like that. I hope that he is a valuable piece to this. He's a valuable piece to this storyline for one, and I hope it doesn't do any more damage to that foot. Because you're going at, like you said, going at full speed, and then you're using the boot to make these kicks, and we sitting like,
Well, I
come
said it
on,
can't be
man.
no full-fledged injury. I love it
It's
though,
it's
man.
it's just it's just
Me
it's
out of my
just
seat.
wild
I was
to
like,
me.
yo,
And I'm sitting back looking at it, and I was like,
no,
come
go
on,
ahead, go ahead.
man. Yeah, come on. I'm like, come on, man. This is wild to me. Like this whole ordeal
I was,
with this bloodline story. It's getting amazing every
I'm a fan.
single
I'm a fan, man.
time. Like you got me hooked. You really, truly got me hooked in this. You truly
I'm a
got me
fan,
hooked
Doc.
in there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. This has been one storyline for the age, probably the best storyline we will ever see in our lifetime. And
Yeah,
You can't for what's this been now? 4 years running now? 4 years going?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you
Since
kidding
the
me?
pandemic it started. Yeah, yeah,
Are you kidding
yeah,
me? Like,
yeah, man.
let me ask your opinion on this. How long do you think this can go?
Shucks. You know what? And I give you this graphic because the fan they do these and you end up getting these what ifs and this graphic of a female bloodline. And it is bananas the way that they even organize. I was like, yeah. And Naya at the helm of it, and you got a female with Tamina, and there's two other sisters, and on top of that, you got Naomi. And in my head, I'm going, yo, this can last for a long if they wanted to do that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like that looks like if you add the ladies to this mix, it's gonna be scary. Scary.
Yeah,
Like you can, and you can.
yeah,
That's the thing.
yeah.
If I don't know if the Judgment Day was a
It's
template of
scary.
sorts. You know what I mean? It was a template where adding women to these factions with the men was to give it this style. You know what I mean? And I don't know,
Yeah.
like this is wild stuff. I can't believe it.
That. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I just sent you your text message. I just sent you a picture. This female bloodline piece. Like it's crazy, nuts. And then you still got Ava over there. Like it's the twins. They got a female group uh that are some. It's like, bro, this can go bananas. Do you understand me? Like if it happens.
You can't really
Yeah,
see it, man.
yeah.
I'm one day I'm gonna have to pull that up. This is bananas. And then to make matters worse, sir. And then to make matters worse, Nia is the queen of the ring. It's like, why are they not coinciding right now? Like, I mean, she's the WWE Women's Champion. Why should they not coinciding right now? Like, what is the real holdup? I get it.
Man,
You have all of the pieces there, and it's like there's some way that you have to incorporate all of that into this mix. I get it. Naomi's doing her thing with Bianca and Jade, and then you have Nia with her storyline with Tiffany Stratton as they are like this now. And it's like, come on, man, this is your opportunity that you can use it. But I think the reason why they can't use it is because of how that head of the table situation is right now with Solo and Roman back in the fold.
mhm.
Like you can't like the only way this will really captivate to a greater level is if they all showed up at Bad Blood and then they all picking their sides, who they
Yeah,
want to roll
yeah.
with. That's where,
Uh,
and I know they're getting them rights in. They writing in their stuff for Bad Blood in October, man. Like, okay, all right, throw that away. No, throw that away. No, that won't sound right. Right. See, and it's gonna lead to those types of moments, man, where you gonna be sitting there scratching your
man,
head
it's
like,
gonna
what
be
do we
crazy.
do? And listen, Ava Rain getting into the mix,
I don't know,
as
brother.
she's in a form of power herself. When you look at this female bloodline, and greater is it's in a lighter tone with her on NXT. Imagine she started getting ruthless like a final boss type of thing.
That's what I was about to tell you. To tell you,
What you
if the Rock comes, if the Rock comes back, I mean, you know, to face Roman, what makes you think she won't come GM like a final boss? Like I'm the final boss, and that's my, you know, kind of a piece. Like it's so many ways to spin this whole entire foolishness, man. So, man, I'm for the mess. That's what I'm for. I'm for the mess. Listen, I'm all for the bloodline mess. Let's go.
listen? I when I sit
For
back
it.
and I sit back and look at this, like you know that it was going to be something good with it, but you didn't know how many levels it can go with this situation. You didn't know
Yeah.
how high these stakes can be raised, how you can swerve throughout this entire magnitude of this storyline. You can keep going higher and higher and higher. And it's like there's no way you can get any higher than this. And then boom, something else comes into the mix. We got to also remember there are other Samoan wrestlers that are not involved right now in this mix, and it's just timing for them for when they get in. And this photo that you showed me with this bloodline situation, like I don't understand why Nia doesn't. And if Nia doesn't have those sisters at some point, like she could form that, and then it could be one big family. It'll be bigger than Degeneration X, the
Yo,
NWO.
I think I do agree. I agree with that. I think it's gonna be. I think it's already at the status of DXNWO as one of the, right now has got to be the greatest faction we have that we've had. And DX is my all-time favorite faction. DX was my number one because I just love born in the era, you know, where in the so I all of the factions kind of do their thing, but DX was probably one of the most entertaining, most dominant. All of them could wrestle. Like you talking about New Age Outlaws, you had X Pac, you had Shawn Michaels and Triple H, China, like so nucleus, and they just ran amok through everything. So I think to me has been the top tier, and, and then I think about the Shield, you know, about Nexus. But man, when you put them up again, I think we got the all-time favorite faction going on because it can go in so many ways. And then I thought about something else, bro. Uh, I thought about this. What if, and I thought about Solo said to Tamatonga, he said, beat me for this. If he could take this from me, we both submit under him and say he's the tribal chief. And I thought about it and I said, wait a minute. They finna turn this thing again. Roman Reigns beats Solo. They end up being together now, back together. Okay, right? Rock come in, and then Jimmy and Jay on his side. The bloodline battle is greater because they rolled with him at first, but now they're like it's so many,
That
it's so
that
many.
that would be absolutely bananas if it were to
Bro,
swerve in that direction. I'm going to stay. I'm going to stick to
I'm
my
just
prediction,
saying.
thinking that the Usos are going to remain with Roman, but I'm going to keep that in mind for the simple reason that if they were to turn and join the Rock, that would be one hell of a swerve. Like seriously,
It's
I
gonna
do
be a
not
swerve,
want the
man.
Usos
Yeah.
because I want to see a babyface run with Roman with this bloodline storyline. You took the original You took the necklace away. I want to get it back.
Yeah.
The same
Yeah.
thing with the CM Punk, with CM Punk trying to get the necklace from Drew McIntyre, right? As we're heading into Raw, we're getting closer to Bash at Berlin coming next week. Is it next week? It is the following next week, right? The end of next week.
Yeah.
You
It's
got
next week. Yeah.
you have matches here. You have, I don't know, people's gonna be like, okay, I'm already sick and tired of Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. What's the point? The point is when Rollins is getting involved, because Rollins and McIntyre all have something against
Yeah.
CM Punk. So that's why those three intertwine.
So we got about 2 weeks. Yeah, we got 2 weeks. So it's August the 31st will be for Bash in Berlin. But I just sent you another little.
Come on.
Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Like,
okay,
it's crazy.
So you saying if that were to occur, you looking at war games. It's war games, right? It's when that is going to occur. You want 12 people in this match.
All
3
of the
different
same
teams.
family.
Same family. I don't know how at some point Bad Blood got to get their hands on this. Like a bloodline civil war got to cultivate a Bad Blood before you put this war games match like this Civil War games match. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I get it.
I know we skipping ahead, Bash in Berlin. The reason why we skipping ahead like this because we're looking for it. When they said Bad Blood was coming out, there is so many matches that you can put together for this one pay-per-view. Like, it could almost be on a level of a Money in the Bank type pay-per-view where Bad Blood cultivates against your rivals. It's rival matches for Bad Blood. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's the best way I would that type of pay-per-view. You get, and I don't know, but how the problem
it would make sense.
It would make sense. The problem though is how would it stay within storylines? You have to create new rivals all the time. A lot of people get sick of old rivalries. They rather them be on hiatus and stall, and then you push them out like another a year or so later when it's dead. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. And maybe I'm losing my mind on it, but I know Bad Blood could be the ones for rivals.
But this is crazy. That's what I'm saying. You got to remember, we're building up SummerSlam, greatest momentum of Bad Blood. I know Bash in Berlin is there, and I think it needs to be like some matches, Blood, but like there are a lot of and stuff like that in Bash at Berlin. But attention to this, you have Liv Morgan, Bad Blood. Why is it Bad Blood, Dominique? You got Damian Priest and why is there Bad Blood? Leader of Judgment Day, Collins, and you got what's that boy name? Big Bronson Reed.
Oh yeah,
big.
Yeah.
Is that Bad Blood? Because you just jumped me and you caused me to be out. You got CM Punk and you got Drew McIntyre. Blood. You've been screwing me all this time. I got my revenge, but I still got your. You got the family bloodline. Why? Look at all of the stuff that I'm the one that got you started at one spot. So like it's it's a lot that like it makes sense. And I know people going, well, let's not doing this and go. These storylines to bad blood. Like these are the storylines that lead you. Like bro, don't even put them in bad blood because there's no story yet that they built momentum on that was in Gunther. I wouldn't put him in bad blood. There's no storyline would solidify that. So these other things have had screw. You done had mistakes. You done had people other. Now they may even include the final test of the New Day if there's a screw job that goes on with the Woods and Kofi. So we talk about bad, bad blood, man. That to me, if you're gonna do have the implications of bad blood, like it makes sense to do that. It just makes sense.
Is this an indicator that we're going to start bringing? I mean, they start bringing blood in the matches, but you're going to have to bring back the first blood match. You know what I mean? First person to bleed is the loser. So I think you're going to have to throw that in the mix here. Because the case is going to be said for Cody Rhodes. And you're just like, well, where could Cody Rhodes go with bad blood? Of course, you have the bloodline situation, right? That could always be in play, but I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be more of a Kevin Owens or a Randy Orton in that mix.
But it don't give me. You understand what I'm saying? These are friends.
I know.
It don't give me. I want to see something that's gonna give me bad blood. Like what is going on that would make me blood. Like you did something to me, and it's or something happened and you took something from me. Now I got to come kind of thing, or you jump me. Now I can see the Wyatts being in that, but pending on, hey Amanda, pending on how they do this. What is they? I can't remember what their faction name is now.
You talk with who was in it?
And the what's the name? Shucks, man, I just had a whole brain freeze. The little crew he got now.
Come on, Final Testament.
No, Chad Gable.
Oh, you talking about
with the Creed brothers?
Yeah, with the Creed brothers. American Made is what we call them. American Made.
Okay. Yeah. So no bad blood there yet. And see, I thought they was gonna build like bad blood because Chad Gable was going against Otis and those crew. Thing of it is that was there really vengeance or binge going on with that? So it don't add up. You can see them trying to include that, but it won't add up. It won't add up.
Here's the thing: after the great match that Otis had against Obafemi on NXT for the North American Championship, that's a great way you can build off of that, man. Like you can have matches between American Made and Alpha Academy where they trade off wins and losses. You know, at some point, a surprising victory comes in from American Alpha. You know, and then that just brings rage to American Made that they want to beat down and they want to, you know, it cultivates into a mixed tag because now Ivy Now has got into the mix and went after Maxine. Now it does give.
Okay, see now. Okay.
It does give.
I forgot about that. That just happened.
Right. It does give the American Made the advantage now because it's now 4-on-3. Now the question then becomes, you would almost have to do it that way as a mixed tag. And then you would, Chad Gable, he can either wrestle or he can be the manager. At this case, you send the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile going against Alpha Academy, and he can be a thorn in their side. Chad Gable mess around with his old group, and it gives that it's my old group against my new group, and how those things can cultivate. Right, like you see them struggling. I can't say desperate. It was a need.
I agree with that though.
You do? You agree with that? That it seemed desperate?
I cannot agree with her. No, I think, and here's the thing though. I think I'm doing it right with the Wyatt Six at first, away from that by letting him go after Otis and them. So what was the whole thing with the Wyatt Six? With the Wyatt Six kind of like picking, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was the whole point of that? Like the whole storyline, they're trying to figure out what to do with it, and I don't think that
right. I ain't putting that comment.
I mean. And I do think they trying to figure out a way to Chad, and I think putting him with American Made, but I don't think it works with Otis and them. I think it works more because of them leaving him. I'm pretty much to the point of death. Bloody or whatever. They have not had anybody to. So it's almost kind of like, let's start building. I wish they would have built. I don't think fighting against Otis and Maxine Dupree and no, I don't feel like this has weight like it would if it was the Y6. Now you put us and so have the value. They haven't put enough leg work on wheels.
I see what you mean. I got you. I hear you. And it just seems like, he'd been with them for so long, and you would think that a storyline like that would never end. But you also, like you mentioned about the Wyatt Six that came into play, and it's like, what was the point of bringing them in if they're not going to be utilized? And I remember a comment from the Good Doctor this past week. He said they pretty much used up, and they're doing them wrong, as in the Wyatt Six. And so it was great to see them in matches, but I always believe the Wyatt Six is supposed to be where retribution is. It's causing havoc to different groups. It's not just one group. It's to different groups. And that way it makes that story think. You can also use them for the final testament because they're supposed to be the darkest of the group. And so you're sitting here telling me it's about family, right? And I'm talking about the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six is sitting here talking about family.
I agree.
Get Karrion Kross or get the New Day. Get the New Day or somebody. It's about family. You could get in that. Cause major chaos.
It's that dark against dark. Man, you gotta put it together.
Like, it's the faces against the heels. That's where they should have started at.
You gotta do it, man.
That's where they should have started. One dark group against another dark group. You got a face dark group and a heel dark group.
Amanda need to jump. She need to get on today. Amanda need to get on today since
don't give her that because she got power to get
today.
In.
I love it.
She'll jump in a heartbeat. Come on, I don't want to get in.
And thank you so much.
You just boosting her ego.
Thank you so much, Amanda. You're on
you
point.
Boosting her ego. Don't do that. Don't do that to her. Today has been a great day. Big ups to her son Blake, starting 4th grade, and proud of seeing that young man. He's doing amazing things, for sure. And I wanted to make sure I made mention of that. And everybody that's going to school starting this week, hope that y'all have an amazing year in your classes and all that good stuff, man. YS6 is about family. Think about they're boosting the families in the process. Now, I ain't trying to boost you up, girl. Don't even try to get into this mix here. But
come on, let's go.
Let's think about it. With
come on. Let's get it.
We mentioned them with the YS6. The YS6, they have it where it is like my first initial thought was we're here to cause havoc, cause a little chaos, right? And this is about family. You forgetting your families, and maybe and they might have missed the mark a little bit. They did a good thing with Chad Gable at first, like you said. It did a good thing with him. Remember when they caused havoc in the production room, and they left him sitting out there with the rest of the group.
Yeah,
like build off of that. Come on. And then they had the match where they won, and I don't think they should have cultivated on Raw. I know they gave that to the Raw audience. It's probably the only place. I ain't listening to her, man. She's sitting there talking crazy on this here Monday. But that was my thing.
Okay.
I thought they were meant.
It's okay.
We'll see about that. You show up, I might kick you back out.
Let's go.
Nope, I don't come on. I don't come on the 18. I don't come on 18 with RC. I'm not letting you here. The doors are locked. Don't come in here. Shutting the doors, man. Don't come in here with this stuff, man. But anyway, when we was getting in with the YS6, I don't think they should have got a match on Raw. You keep setting them up to, if it led to, I know we wanted to see them. I'd rather get mad at when to see them than to jump them into a match just to say that they were back. I get it. Baltimore, and if Baltimore was because it was the beginning of the Wyatt family, cool. Good thing they take them back off television. Because I think that's what that was. It's more like a tribute match. The more I think about it, for Bray.
Yeah.
So now you can go back. You can cause havoc.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
And I think
if we're going to stick to the family, they need to really go ham on both factions. All three of them, if you let them. Matter because you got family. Yeah.
NXT family is in there.
Yeah. Like he turning on the Rascals, man. You talking about really going in there, blowing up stuff. Like it's so many family, and that's one of the reasons why I think that when Undertaker had the dark side, and you had Farouk doing the Nation of Domination things, where you had the Brood with Edge and Christian, the Dudleys. Like it was just so much that was established during that time, and I think we need to get more of that, because that's what made WWE special. Was major. That's why I told you they need to go get Aleister Black, the whole crew from over there at AEW, and bring them over. It's the Y6. That is going to be a dope. You let that happen.
Now, hear this out.
It's gonna be.
Now, hear me out. Hear me out. If you look at an Aleister Black right now, and you're looking for a dark feature, when you put them against the Final Testament and Karrion Kross to build their characters too, because you got to understand.
Yes.
You got to understand they could play both sides of the fence here, and if you wanted to cultivate a bad blood type of thing here, you wanted to do a civil war type of war games type of match, Imagine all three of them into the mix, right? And then we ain't even talked about the fact about what's going on with Xavier Woods and the New Day. We ain't talked about them because, but think about that. Final Testament, Aleister Black,
I
Wyatt
don't think it's gonna
Six.
spin though. We think it is.
Hey, wait, hold
Man,
on.
I don't think
Let's
I
not
don't think
forget.
it's
Let's not forget, sir. Remember how you just sat here and said, how about the Attitude Era, how we had all these different factions and tag teams, and they did it in a 2-hour show? Two.
yeah,
And they were
yeah,
able to get everything in a 2-hour window.
yeah, yeah.
And now we're at the place where when did they do the first 3-hour permanent? It was, I can't think of what, 2012. It's 2012 when they started
20,
doing 3
20
hours.
I thought, was it 12? I thought it was
It
I
was
thought it was
Raw 1000. It was either 11 or 12.
okay, yeah.
They did Raw
11. I thought it was
1000. They
yeah,
did Raw
yeah,
1000. That was the first permanent 3-hour show. And then they
yeah,
ever
yeah.
since then. But see, and that's a span
Kept it
of
going.
over 10 years with that. But we, you and I, and all wrestling fans have been used to the 2-hour show on Monday nights. And you were wondering, how was they able to get all of those stories, all of those factions, all of these champions on this one card? I'm telling you, they kept that for 2 hours and getting guys that we don't normally see. Remember getting the guys, and I got to throw back a little bit to the Crash Hollies, the Steve Blackmans, what's my dude named Perry Saturns, when Big Papa Pump was over there as well and whatnot. 2 hours, they was getting all these lower tier guys and putting them on the show and making it a worthy show when they had the cruiserweights. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And they had
yeah.
hardcore. I think we and this is why Amanda said this is why the Attitude Era is coming back. Look at the sequence of events that's been happening. Yeah, we get into a place now. We're gonna have to do that for 3 hours, and it's gonna have to be the norm. The norm.
But this is, you got to remember who is one of the two there. You got to think about it. DX was the major staple was during that time. So this makes sense. Who's running NXT? Michaels. This makes sense. Who's sitting behind the board with him sitting there for the main show? Oh, this makes sense. So you can't this is not this is not important. This stuff that made WWE win the Monday Night over taking over those two entities. Um WCW and Extreme. What makes us it won't happen again? Like this is the major reason why I tell you they gotta open that forbidden door. Because if they open it, and you know every show, if they open that doggone forbidden door, to be something massive that's gonna happen for everybody's, like something major that's gonna happen for everybody's brand. And you get crossover moments where uh, you hear uh the Shield music, all three of them start popping out from different places. Like it just I mean, and I ain't saying that it can't happen or that's not happening because he ain't moving, he ain't going nowhere. He gonna stay at AEW. Point is like, who says that can't happen? Crossover with a forbidden door open and a brand can happen. Like
I'm
and
just
getting Aleister Black and he's against the Final Testament. Now that's a dope match. But then you also get him to face got Buddy Murphy over there too. So you got peace, and Rhea and Buddy are married. So element of surprise, like it's just so much that can be done. Hey,
Now,
Triple H, I need you to hire me and Arlington and make sure we own this writing team.
we gonna
We
cause
need to be
major
on this writing
chaos.
cause so mayhem. Oh, I'm gonna cause so much mayhem. And they're gonna be like, this much problem. I'm gonna cause so much trauma and terrible. I can't be
We're gonna
messy in
get
my
kicked out the
nature.
first week, man. We getting kicked out the
Oh
first week.
man. I can't be messy in my nature, so I gotta be messy behind the scene. Writer. I can tell the whole brand up. That let's go to work.
First week, we gonna get kicked out. That was no, these two get them out of here, man.
I'm with
Get them out,
oh
man.
we were
Hey,
and NXT like literally.
oh, we would get kicked to the curb. Like we would need to have Mark Henry's help to get us to get us together. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, Mark.
It said what happened to ladder matches? We need more cage matches. I think they're coming. Ladder matches right now, like think about it, with the Money in the Bank ladder match, that takes a lot out of people. You know what I mean? And we don't have that hardcore era that we once had anymore. You know, it used to be a real big thing with the hardcore era. They would have many ladder matches, tables, ladders, and chairs. Remember, they kind of removed, like quietly, like you didn't even know they actually did it, but they removed the TLC pay-per-view because it became a problem. You know what I mean? So, like,
so many people were getting hurt on them.
They were getting hurt.
They only use it in the and so they only use doing the Money in the Bank needed to be able to get it. That's the only time you're going to see that. And then most of those back then they were built different. Now it's totally different, man. And so they walking slow and had limbo. They not as fluent and flowing like they used to be because man, them falls ain't no joke. But they still out there trying it. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
like Matt and Jeff, they still out there at AEW trying it. So I to them, man. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't bring back ladder matches.
I want to touch a bit on what you said for the Forbidden Door. You're starting to see it little by little now with what TNA is doing with WWE, allowing some of their wrestlers to go over to NXT. You know, Joe Hendry right now is like the biggest thing on NXT. So you got a whole TNA star on WWE programming, and it's major. You've had Jordan grace her presence during the Royal Rumble. It was major. You had Mickey James come over and participate in the Royal Rumble. It was major, and they built off of that. So can you imagine a place where the NXT Women's Championship is over at TNA? Can you imagine having TNA having the NXT Championship on TNA? Or it's way over to TNA? Because Roxanne Perez can sit back right now as we sitting here and she can say, I'm tired of playing with these people over here. I want to see what y'all got over at Total Nonstop Action. Y'all say y'all got some of the best. I don't see it. You better show up because I'm ready to show out. You get what I'm saying? Like those types of things happen. And I don't see Tony Khan, in my opinion, will not look at it as we need to open those doors. And he's going to be very hesitant, in my opinion, with it, because he know if he does that, his competition days against WWE are over. But what you got to understand, it brings a bigger show. If DX is willing to lay back, well, and let me put it in that term, but they're willing to relax on the competition stage and willing to work with other promotions, other brands to help build them, what's wrong with a conglomerate of pro wrestling like that? What's wrong with that?
The competition always. And I think point about them using barbed wire. They're basically majority of the people that is at AEW executives like Taz and the Dudley, they run the behind the scenes kind of. Oh, remember them jokers with ECW. So those ECW guys, so they want barbed wire tables to be hit. That's why when Daniel Bryan got over there, there's a difference between wrestling and entertainment because the actual wrestling meaning that we gonna put the barbed wire in glass and hit you upside the head, with a chair shot. It ain't a pullback. Like we gonna smash. And these ain't blood packages we putting in our mouths. And you get them smashing them through cars. They just basically made WWE and ECW so they doing that. This is the same thing that remember WC, they wouldn't cross them lines. So that's why W did not have the run that they had. They had to use Goldberg like that and had to use NWO, but the NWO was the DX faction status, and it just did it reduced for a minute, but then you still got DX down the street going to WCW. While they in there wrestling, while they in their own, like literally recording and nothing happened. So I think AEW has become this great show is because they're some of the stuff that WWE and ECW put made them so successful in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He can really flip this whole thing with these factions, especially with his blood. Like they can make it a whole. It can be a whole. I kind of like it all.
I would not mind seeing a Wyatt Six going up to Tony Khan's office in Jacksonville to mess with him. I would not mind seeing that. Almost like what DX tried to do with WCW and tried to get inside of a WCW arena. Sort of like that. WWE faction trying to get into an AEW office unannounced.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? It's like I know that
And
I
let
know,
the
I
outcome
know
be
that's
different.
in the back of their mind. Come on, man. I know that's in the back of their mind to do something like that. Like it's sitting there, like, but it's like, how do we do it? How do we make it great? How would
Catch
it
one
make an
show.
acceptable
Catch
word?
one show that's literally in the same area to be one.
And
And
it's
I
got to
know
be
I
on
know they
this. It's
paying
got to be on the
attention.
same night too. It's got to be on the same night. That's the only difference.
Or not necessarily. Not necessarily. Here's the thing, because remember they all record different. Here's the thing. What happens? It's Wednesday night or Wednesday night dynamite, right? NXT
Tuesday
goes
night.
over there, and NXT go over there just out of the blue. Get over Femi and go back a Brunson Reed and let them go over there wreak havoc just one time Friday night, which Dynamite. I mean, which they do other show they do. They got
Um,
Dynamite and they got
what is the name of
God.
that show?
It just slipped. It just
Because
slipped.
I thinking of Collision and it's
Uh,
not. It's not Collision. It's not Collision.
it is Collision.
No, that's on
It ain't
Saturday.
Collision. I thought it is.
It's Rampage.
Oh,
Rampage is what
sure
they
is.
do.
Rampage.
Rampage.
So you get them on Rampage, and it's the same night. And let them jokers go at it like that. Let them. Nah, that ain't gonna happen tonight. That ain't gonna happen tonight. That ain't, Amanda, it's not gonna happen tonight. It's gonna happen soon. I think it's gonna happen though.
Well,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Where's Bronson Reed originally from? Because that'll help. He's from Australia. Okay, so Berlin wouldn't help for real if they did a match at the Bash at Berlin.
Oh,
I think he's going to get a major match though.
Oh yeah.
With a stipulation. I think with a stipulation. That's my prediction. It's going to be a stipulation. I mean, the question is going to be, what would the stipulation be though?
Why though? Like, but why?
Get Seth Rollins off TV again and keep him to bad blood?
Nah. I think it's gonna be a major match though, and like I said, Reed Rollins major match because he want to make his name, and he want to get his. This is gonna be a way to put him in that hunt. Even though he's mid card right now, who's to say he's not gonna be mad? And so you give him that, and I like they should have done Ryback. When remember that Feed Me More hit like bananas, was horrible in the ring, like he had footwork, like I was like, bro, like what you to be that big, for you to be that dominant, and for them to make you much of a push for you to have bad footwork like that, like it was. Heard he had a bad attitude behind the curtain.
Yes,
so
that was the other thing is, and
once
I hated
to read that push like that, you give him that push, man. I think it's gonna
be what's also the biggest thing? These mixed tags, like we slowly evolving back into those again. I know we had
who's in charge?
Team yeah.
Charge, man.
Yeah. Yep. I wonder if they're gonna kind of bring that back.
He's doing his job, man.
And it's
slowly evolving.
It's slowly evolving.
Yeah.
I don't know if they should bring a show about it, but you definitely should have some mixed tag matches throughout WWE. And in different spots. I don't need random. If you're part of a faction and you work with that faction, I think you should have a tag team partner. So
we'll get one. We'll get one. Yeah,
okay.
We'll get one. We know we're gonna get the Rhea. We're gonna get the terrible too. That's which is Rhea and Damian against and Dominique Mysterio.
Yeah, we get that at Bash in Berlin. We'll get that.
Berlin. We definitely. But once that's over, it's over. I think of that is gonna probably be the bloodline. If they do this women's, bro, I see this thing gonna be nuts.
Like, I just need some extra title belts.
Do that woman.
I need some extra title belts. All right, folks, we about to wrap this bad boy up. We at the 1 o'clock hour now, and hey, thanks to those that tuned in to this edition of the A-Train Show. Sorry we couldn't get into the hoops and stuff, but hey, when wrestling goes, that's how we getting down, man. Just tell you that right now. Friday, you back in on Friday, sir?
I'm back in. Yes, sir.
Back in on Friday. We're gonna miss him Wednesday. So hey, Wednesday, I'm back at it again at noon. Yeah, I'm going up against him then. So oh boy, we'll see how that one translates. So for just a short time, hey, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for popping in and whatnot, man. And we'll catch him back again on Friday. All right. This is the A-Train signing off. Good Reverend Doctor. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir.
We'll catch y'all next time right here on the A-Train Show. You can only find it right here on Fuel Sports Network. See y'all later.